Hello. I have a new microphone. A new microphone that hopefully I audio balanced correctly. Yippee! So, I fucked up last time. New mic. I fucked up last time and, I didn't realize the next part of the trial after the, what the fuck do you mean no bad? TikTok Live Studio wants me dead. The next part of the trial is a lot shorter, I think. And last week's stream was also very short, so I should have just played that trial section in one go. Which I realized my mistake as I was making a thumbnail and trying really hard not to put Spark Brushel on the thumbnail. So I did a generic Apollo Justice themed thumbnail to not put Spark Brushel on it. So I'm gonna blast through this next really good section, and then play the section after it. Yippee, new mic! Why does it have a... Okay. Yeah, I should have played it in one go, and then my thumbnail would have been better. But now we know. This is what I get for not opening the guide specifically last week. But you know what? We learned. I also have like a noise gate on my mic in here, but it is the OBS one, and I don't know how good it is. Hopefully it's decent. It sounded fine when I was messing with it earlier today. I genuinely did not stream yesterday because I think I was like working on something else, but also mostly because I didn't want to do my mic settings again. So Wednesday's stream. But anyway, let's fucking go. Hello? Okay. Why does TikTok Live Studio want me dead? Huh? Oh, I know why it wants me dead. I'm not fixing that right now.
Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo?
Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically.
Huh? Well then, who was he?
Well, he was actually... doing her nails. So you really made those forgeries? Vera!
Yes, her father.
I know, it was wrong.
Could you tell us how it happened?
My father was a painter. I left painting ever since I was a child. One day, Father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent.
The talent for making forgeries?
How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those. Forgeries. I've never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, Father is...
Do you know about this red envelope?
I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So, you were already you were already creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. Something fell over on my bed. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned. That was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time.
Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio.
I painted those as part of my work.
Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings.
I see.
Mr. Justice?
Yes?
Father, he knew of you. Of both of you.
Those sketches are so freaky. Your father. It's the way also, like, turnabout succession. Like, the succession means things for a lot of people, but it's also, like, Drew Misham is also, like, using his daughter to commit crimes. Like, I know she was happy to do it, but, like, he was using his 12-year-old daughter to commit forgery. Oh, Drew Misham.
He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright & Co. law offices.
I have to clean my glasses. Okay.
But lately we're not just doing law. We're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano.
Me when I'm a fan of the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Who was Mr. Misham?
How am I supposed to know?
What if he was Daddy's daddy?
Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. How old is Drew Misham? Oh. Yeah, no. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. They're not gags, but I am gagged. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out.
Blech.
Okay. Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Misham forger persona? Here's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head.
I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy.
What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Happy Pride, everyone. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Yay, happy Pride. Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one. Also interesting, the Kazuya Nuri, so in Great Ace Attorney, Nuri's characters all have white pupils, or like at least an eye shine in the direct center of their eye. Vera only does when she's looking at Clavier. I don't know if I read that line. And Apollo has one occasionally, I think.
I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it.
So she was the one who made the forgeries. Different character designer for Vera. Interesting. I think you're right. We had like a conversation about this recently. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. I do really like the the white pupil designs that he goes with for Ace Attorney. Yeah, we did have a conversation about this at like past midnight. So I don't remember what the details were, but Ace Attorney character design good. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. Yay, he gets a gold star for not being as terrible as he could be. At least if somebody wanted to target the forger, they would go after him. Which is not actually how this crime happened, but... this crime was an oopsie.
I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I?
Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. Yeah, Apollo has the central, like... I wonder if he has it in his headshot. Oh wait, he doesn't have one because because we don't get to present Apollo. He has one later. We'll look at that. You have seen this before, yeah?
Yes. It was in the desk drawer.
Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. The judge has it. Red envelope. Oh boy, Happy New Year.
I created things and then Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was as it in a painting. Father handled the deal. All of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
Just realized the voice I'm doing is like a little bit Yuki Nagato.
I am part of the data integration thought entity.
There certainly was much of great There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. What? Sentences? Not that the witness realizes it. Yuki Nagato! Very well, please begin the cross-examination. Right, okay. Actually, it's Justice, but... I need more information about this forger. No, it's Justice. This Drew Misham. I need to alter one of my settings. Actually, I'm just gonna... There we go. Why does TikTok Studio want me dead? Don't stream on TikTok, guys. It sucks. Have I seen the why? I haven't. I probably should have paid attention to any of her testimony and like actually chosen a option based on what that said. So these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Your Honor. She had no idea what she was doing was illegal. Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Please, tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father.
All right.
Okay, let me like actually look at her testimony. All of it. I'll never hear the song the same way again. Great. I'm so excited. What do you mean you received it? It's like Yakuza reference.
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atroquinine.
Objection!
A moment, Herr Forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fräulein Vera. Why did you receive this stamp? Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, only the prosecution can lead the witness, guys. Guys, this isn't the Victorian era. The prosecution can totally lead the witness all the time. Me jumping up and down, making sure that people know that Ace Attorney takes place in a broken justice system. Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was.
Dark Age of the law, baby! So you didn't know about the poison? I guess not. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to his commemorative stamp. His commemorative stamp, who's he? Quite the close call. Yuen Kenji has powers that Bengoshi do not. Actually, no, don't story mode it. Fuck. What was your first work that wasn't a painting? By other than a painting, you mean... Ooh, I just cracked my finger. You'd only done paintings up to that point.
Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance?
For instance, a letter someone had written. Or a fingerprint left upon a cup. Or a signature on a document. A seal upon a letter.
None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham. A new industry. The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. I feel like forgeries would not... Child exploitation, Your Honor. Welcome to Apollo Justice. I feel like forging evidence would not be the most lucrative business, except in, like, this one specific case that we are talking about. Like, the evidence that is forged in this case, I get, but, like, I feel like other forgeries would probably be more lucrative, right? I don't know. Uh-oh. So you didn't know how the things you were making were being used. It's okay, guys. The child was unaware of the exploitation.
I enjoy painting very much.
I think I understand. The Fraulein has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope?
Father signed them and sent them back, I believe.
Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp. This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. We already pressed this dialogue. You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is?
Yes. We saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books.
This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Misham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. What a fascinating family story. Like, that's a true crime biopic right there.
And we had to meet someone for some reason. Father Post is the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist, Drew Misham. You did the work and he supplied the face. So you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp. You did the work and he surfaced. Could you tell us more about it?
It was very pretty. And more than that,
Yes?
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
This is something new. Yeah, Clavier? Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony for all that. I love that that's her animation. That she always draws a little happy face to, like, be like, okay.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it.
Magicians?
I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat.
You're confusing mysterious with freaky.
Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? Isn't magic great?
Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited.
But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad.
Did she just say what I think she said? Something matching her freak. Magic troupe? Now, where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she'd completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client, whoever wanted the forgery made.
Apollo!
We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take Drew Misham's life. And go back to the magicians. I imagine we present the Grammarys here. Oh, that wasn't right. The witness's statement is clearly faulty because I pressed probably the wrong one out of the two. The two Grammarly things that we have. Objection! Unless that one's also wrong. No, it's right. The witness is clearly lying. Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch?
Apollo, they're not a bunch.
You've heard of the Brady Bunch, now get ready for something much worse. I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter? Good question.
Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat Troop Grammarly.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin? Grammarly. What's with Gavin? I love this case. This case is so good. Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated This was your first work that was other than a painting. Hee hee hoo hoo. Please, tell me. What exactly did you make?
Can I ask why?
No. Answer the question. Now. Prosecutor Gavin. You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize. But I must know. Please, Miss Misham, tell me.
It was a book. A single page in a book.
A book? Please be more specific.
It was a handwritten book, like a diary.
No! I don't... No! I love this case.
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Misham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no?
Oh, how did you know?
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all of your questions. Stop badgering her. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor, nothing? Sullied? Ooh. Phoenix Wright. Who else?
Daddy?
He never told you about the trial 7 years ago. About how he came to lose his attorney's badge. It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back, it bore the mark of a silk hat. What? Phoenix Wright, tossed out of the profession by false evidence. And the forger who made that evidence. Is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it?
We only met once.
You met the client? Well, who was it?
It was... What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again.
Yes, what? Is there something about me?
I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary.
Who was it? Vera!
The devil.
Defendant Vera Misham, condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute atroquinine poisoning. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. Dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She's currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. Very simple case at first glance. Until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes it to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that is where we must go. To find the whole truth. Shout out to Trial Begins 2001.
Be continued.
And we're continuing because it's been like 2 seconds. I would like to give a shout out to the car outside my window that honked right as I was about to say the devil. The devil. I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but it was funny to me. Yes, continue on to the next chapter.
Yippee!
Hold on. I'll play that. I lost. It's only a game of poker. Game I played for a long time, and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. I'm thinking of the wrong people. Well, seems I found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why, yes, over a game of cards. God, I love this case. That was how we first met, 7 years ago. Phoenix Wright's final trial. I'm excited. Whew, okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Ah, good morning, Mr. Enigmar. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
Oh, she's so little. She's so little.
Boo, exactly ate your pussy, Zach.
Ew, morning, Daddy.
I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
I am fine as always.
Yay, Trucy, we love you, Trucy.
This old boy is here to help me after all. That's young man to you.
She's so round and little and pick-upable.
Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks. My first show's today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. The heck is she talking about?
Oh boy.
Huh? Me? Look what he started.
Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. I found it over there on the bench. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What's this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later. She is so... It's also, now that I have to voice normal Phoenix, I'm like, I only have so many voices. I only have so much vocal range. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Ah, an easy win then, yes. They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year. Switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in, but allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. So I haven't ever seen Zach's, design in this much detail. I love that the, sideburns are, sketched in. Anyway,
But allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So do your best, but do not worry.
First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can.
I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. I'm fucking you over.
Impossible? Impossible.
Yes, isn't that right, Trucy?
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at the case was only yesterday, which is, par for the course for me. And the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake.
I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
This fucker. My client is Shady Enigmar, known to the world as Zach Gramarye. Wildly popular magician, star of Troop Gramarye. I forgot that Zach was not his legal government name. His mentor, Magnifi Gramarye, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic, until he was shot dead. And Zach Gramarye is the suspect. God.
Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigmar.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Look at him!
Is the prosecution ready?
I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really.
Buzzkill?
Is this some new kind of crime? One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts? A Gaviner's concert's got 10 times the thrill this gig's got. Who were you again? Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, yeah.
Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavin's...
Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Clavier Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band, the Gaviners. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah? Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent that the voice actor's not doing, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up, Herr Attorney Wright.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case.
Achtung, baby. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Ah, yes. Detective Gumshoe. Hit it! Gumshoe! HD Gumshoe real! Oh, I miss him. And you are? I missed him! Gumshoe. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe! Where's my... It's warm in here, but it's funny for me to pull this out right as Gumshoe shows up. It's just warm in my room, but, comedic timing, I will take it.
Hey, you are the one who called me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see. Long time no see.
Hey, you!
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see?
What, you normally lack confidence in your testimony? Herr Detective. This is my stage, Cam the Antics. He was such a little bitch when he was 17, sorry.
Oh.
All this hey youing and such. And I could care less about your history together. Mean!
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand. Happened 6 days back, in a room at the General Hospital.
God, I just remembered everything about this case. Magnifi Gramarye, Were he not already dead, I would fight him in a Denny's parking lot. I love how messy everybody is in this game.
The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient asleep in a hospital bed. Killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts.
Them's the breaks, pal. Them's the breaks.
Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifi Grammary, was a famous man. Had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare. Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Granbury has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired Magnifi's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A malignant tutor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah. A malignant tumor, perhaps.
I almost said it wrong, and that would have been very funny.
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact. The facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right. The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven.
How many rock jokes can I fit in this testimony? Nope, cross-exam. Nope. Statement. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true.
Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes.
Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot. Your words mean things.
When he was shot with a pistol. The syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. Much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
Hey, Clavier? Small syringe.
I believe the question before us is clear then.
So fucking warm in my room. How many degrees is it? It is 74 degrees right now. Yay.
Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, detective.
Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting. Yes, sir.
He looks so funny in HD. Like, I've only ever seen this man low res. Well, no, I've seen him on a bigger screen when I played the HD trilogy. I zoomed out of all my things.
Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder.
I love how even before you find out the case details, you find out that Magnifi is like, kill me, LMAO. This asshole, sorry.
The defendant did... My lamp. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. Bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. The pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir.
Oh, Gumshoe. We're never gonna see you again.
What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
I haven't... It's also, like... God, it's been 2 years since I saw Gumshoe in a game. Is it? No, sorry. He was in Investigations. We played Investigations in between Mainline and Great Ace Attorney. It's still been, like, over a year since I've seen him, though, in a game. I missed him.
Those are the facts. I have here the letter in question.
To my beloved student, Zach.
Sorry. Magnifi's letter added to the court record. How do you mean your beloved student? Sorry, I have so much beef with the Grammarys. I love them dearly.
Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause someone to pull a trigger, I wonder?
Your Honor, I'd love to introduce you to a thing called the Milgram experiment.
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter. Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, Air Attorney.
Well, was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was. Every night for half an hour, starting at 11. The victim, Magnifi Grammary, was given an IV. An IV? Why wouldn't you just say, like, 12 o'clock then, though? Like... I missed it.
There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed.
At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night, without fail. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. Well, there's my answer. During his IV.
Very well. Shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? Could have at least mentioned it to me. Actually gonna take this cross-examination as a moment to get more water and also try to fix my fucking audio on TikTok, goddamn. I will be right back, everybody else. Hydrate or dihydrate while I'm gone. Hydrate, don't dihydrate like Magnifi Grammary. Hey! Woo! Hello, we're back. Had to sneeze a bunch. We love allergies. And hopefully, my audio is a little bit better on TikTok. I don't care too much because who is out here watching streams extensively on TikTok, but I am a content creator. We love it. Gumshoe time, gumshoe testimony. I'm excited. Well, a gumshoe cross-examination. Phoenix. That sounds different. It's not Sam. I don't think it was Sam. I'd have to listen to it again, but that sounded different than usual, didn't it? I think I brought this up actually in the first case. I think I brought this up in Turnabout Trump where, right, Phoenix has a different voice actor, I think. Nice. I do love that almost universally Phoenix has a pretty high-pitched voice. It's good. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead, after all. Just as he had commanded. Everything always about getting shot in the forehead. It could be a setup. But let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change. Thanks, pal. Fine, I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. God, I love that Clavier is kind of a dick because he's 17. Oh wait, we can look at everybody's. Sorry, we can look at everybody in the court record. Is what I was going to say. Wow, that's a lot of pink. I love that he's a little bit of a bitch because he's 17 and famous, and this is his first case, and so he feels the need to be like that. Also, if you look at his sunglasses in this picture, they're like not cut off properly. They're just edited on top of the like incorrectly. What the hell? Yeah, like his hair strand doesn't pass in front of his glasses right. Funny. How old is Gumshoe right now? He's only 32? Okay, so what happened is I was into Ace Attorney, and as a joke, he's 17. Yeah, he's baby. Gumshoe, I started calling everybody in Ace Attorney old as like a joke because they're like really not that old. They just like have that energy because especially Dual Destinies, Spirit of Justice, Phoenix's back is acting up and like, it's funny. And then I got used to actual old man Blorbos because I got into Yakuza. And now I'm like, why is everybody so young? This is an older person. Everybody else is young. 40. I don't remember how old Phoenix is in this off the top of my head. I want to say he's 27? He's exactly 18 years older than Trucy, I think. I can't do math that fast. What is that, 26? Right? Calculator, yay! Yeah, 26, okay. What do these all say? Jack Gramery, victim of this case, died after being shot in the head while in the hospital. Then you play Yakuza 0 and it gets confusing because Kazuma Kiryu is younger than me in that game, which is horrifying because man. Also, hello. Trucy is 8. I thought Trucy was 9 for some reason in this one. Star prosecutor and the leader / vocalist of the rock group, the Gaviners. Detective on the case and the first to examine the scene. Goes by Detective Gumshoe. Goes by Detective Gumshoe because that's his name. Sorry, what the hell did we press? And this victim was sent by the letter? Crazy.
There it is! Gotcha! You're all mine this time, pal.
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim's, no mistake.
I see.
Ha 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 ha! Score 1 for the boys! I didn't lose, I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed? But a letter ordering your own death. Also, handwriting analysis is not legitimate forensic evidence, I'm pretty sure. Like, what my new mic setup is? My new mic setup is I just got a Rode NT1 5th gen. So it's that, and also I, between the last time I set up my audio setup and now, learned some stuff about mixing. Not enough that I know what I'm doing with OBS's mic settings, but enough that I can make it sound a little better. I need to get like actual plugins that work with OBS and mess with those because I know how to EQ and compress on not whatever OBS has going on. I don't like the three band EQ. But yeah, it's just the USB version for now, but this mic is neat because you can convert it to an XLR setup down the line. So that is my plan. It already sounds way better than my previous mic, which is currently sitting in a drawer, hanging out. Hell yeah. But yeah, Rode NT1, so much nicer to me than my last mic. And also I am able to use it for like Discord calls and stuff and be heard without turning my gain up to 100%, which is nice. Things aren't what they used to be, I guess. I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor. What were you talking about? Oh, a letter ordering your own death, whoa. So anyway, I guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead. Oh, Gumshoe. I love him dearly. He is wonderful. Wait, shit, go back. I'm not, like, paying attention to any of this. Hold it! How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking. You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective. First, we got this letter. It says, shoot in the forehead. Loud and clear. I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. Yeah, I'm eyeballing a mini fuse for future, future interface purchases. I don't really know anything about microphones, though. I don't know what I'm doing, I just know how to sing. And do some... I know how to sing and I know how to time and tune. And that's all I got. I can do your harmonies and your notes and shit. Yeah. Somebody has to sit there and, like, tell me the microphone stuff. And then I'll be like, okay! You failed to grasp the concept of shooting people as bad, Detective. We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. I thought this said Detective. Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently. Well, Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from looking at this photo, that's totally what a bullet wound looks like. There seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. I do understand that, like, blood is limited in these things for the sake of ratings and whatnot. But, like, funny seeing that. There seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. Photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. As long as you have an equalizer and compressor, you should be good. Yeah, I don't like the way the EQ and compression works in OBS. But it apparently doesn't let you use VST3 plugins, which is like all I have. So I have to find a plugin that I like that I can EQ and compress on better. There's also a noise gate on this that I'm hoping is catching everything well. And, like, actually limiting the noise where it's supposed to. But
Haven't heard any problems here. I've heard problems over on the TikTok end of things right now. Because my volume is at 500% over there. But, sorry, what the fuck are we doing? I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly Mr. Enigmar shot something else. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes?
What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a whoa physical rack gear. Yeah, I don't. I've got a microphone and I got a closet. Thank you, Ali Seba, for the follow. I don't know how to pronounce your handle, but hopefully that was right. Anyway, it lets me look at my audio gear and go, hey, nice rock, nice. I don't know if I read the rest of that. What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. Hold on. Oh, we do have the picture, okay. Because, yeah, the... Oh, whoa. Thank you for the follow. What was I doing? Yeah, clean bullet hole, funny. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. What, and you can prove that with this photo? Yeah. I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired, like he was ordered. But he didn't shoot the victim's forehead.
I feel like they could have made that clearer in the dialogue beforehand, but... we deal.
Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright.
He didn't shoot the victim's forehead. What did the defendant shoot? The clown. Hello. Ah! Oh, I have to press R for present. It's been a... Take that!
The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See? It's been shot from the forehead, too. In the forehead, even.
Ah! There's a hole in its forehead.
I wonder who the current Phoenix voice actor is. Because again, it's not... I don't think that's Sam Riegel. I think the other two games, they keep Sam Riegel, but... Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. And I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll. He didn't just shoot the doll. He shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Forehead. I feel like I'm going to use that later. Which is exactly what he did. Is it Sam Riegel? Because I know he is in 5 and 6, but it doesn't sound like him, like, immediately to me. I'm also, it's only happening for, like, split seconds, so it totally could be him and I don't notice, because it's been a hot second since I've been a Critical Role watcher. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. Okay, they did replace it with Sam's. That would make the most sense. Because then you don't need to also go get another voice actor to then record lines for specifically this game.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. The hole in the clown's forehead. That hole in the clown's forehead, it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
I admit, I'm impressed. But I expected nothing less. Oh, his sunglasses do that on his sprite, too. That's funny. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Objection! Oh, yeah, that totally is. That's totally Sam. Perhaps he did have to shoot... Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead, as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation.
Yeah, it's really obvious the objection. There's a, I want to say Spotify ad with a voice in it that sounds so clearly like Sam Riegel's. I don't know if he's currently doing, it's like a, I don't think it's a State Farm commercial, but like, it's an ad that I get fairly frequently, and every time I get it, I'm like, that's Sam Riegel. I don't actually know if it is, but Sam Riegel sounds so distinct that I feel like it could be, and it kills me.
Might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole was going to get. Happy Pride!
Detective Gumshoe.
Adrosaurus is in Tyrion Cuthbert? Oh, I'm so excited now. I'm going to play Tyrion Cuthbert after this. So, that's very exciting. Because I remember I saw her Apollo Justice theme cover before, like years and years before I had like a interest in Ace Attorney as like, I am going to play this. Because I was a fan of Adrosaurus. I was not yet a fan of Ace Attorney, but I think she's the reason I know Apollo's name, which is very funny.
Please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
The internet is a flat circle. Everybody knows everybody and everyone's involved in everything, and it's very funny, especially voice acting. Crazy. Like, ooh, you want to do an Ace Attorney playthrough so bad?
So, still shot the victim, pal.
Unless he didn't. So, let me get this straight. Happy Pride? You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim. Oh, for Tyrion Cuthbert. That game needs more playthroughs, I feel. Yeah. The good news about very few people playing it, though, is that I can go in completely blind. I know, like, one thing, and it's not really a plot spoiler. So I'm excited.
Hey, not a bad summary, pal.
More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. You're so funny. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. These people ever miss a chance to mock me? Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue on with the testimony? I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Oh, it didn't meet its GoFundMe goal? That sucks. I know, like, most people I am aware of know it because of the music, because I can't remember the YouTuber's name, did tracks for it. And that's how I know about it, actually, because a friend of mine is a fan of that channel and was like, you should check out this soundtrack. So I'm excited to hear the entire soundtrack. I also like Insane in the Rain, yeah. I have surprising 0 people I want to cosplay the prosecutor and the scary lady mentor. So, like, I don't know if there's other cosplayers for Tyrion Cuthbert. I hope there are. But if not, I'm very excited to do that. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. We need more cosplayers of everything, but like... Ooh, Tyrion Cuthbert cosplay. I'm warm. Hey, it's 1 degree cooler than the last time I said the temperature, guys. It's not 73 degrees. I'm not paying enough attention to the testimony. What the hell is going on? I still definitely belong to the old man, sir. Did we do this one? Why are you so certain? There's a sequel? Oh, exciting.
A pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal. You never heard of Zack and Valent's quick draw shoot 'em?
Huh? What's that?
One of the defendant's specialties.
Troop Grammary.
Zack and Valent stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? Kids love it.
Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force.
Troop Grammary stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held onto the pistol ever since.
You mean this pistol? The one in the crime scene photo? This pistol. The pistol that shot... the pistol that shot McAfee.
That's the one. It's a funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it.
Probably look at that gun. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. The fact that they are using real ass-loaded guns for their well, even if they're not loaded, the fact that they are using real guns on stage is like a... You would never see an actual stage magician do that, because what the fuck? So, you verified the murder weapon, in other words. Or maybe you would, but it would be, like, highly controversial.
You bet we did. The court would like to see the pistol in question. You got it, sir.
There we go. The fingerprints of the gun.
Here she is. Well, this truly is a blast from the past. A stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets, because that's a normal thing to do. Looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. Shows traces of having been fired recently.
So were any fingerprints found on the gun?
Unfortunately, no.
Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own.
Aha! Intriguing point. Well made.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Not well made, not intriguing.
In any case, the court accepts this evidence.
Yippee, new evidence.
My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. But now it's time to return to our testimony.
Let's look at the gun. Hee. There's nothing else here. Ah! Wrong button. The hell was I just... Huh? Where did the... There we go. If you look closely, you can see how the pistol's made to bend here. It's a one-shot only model, and I guess this bend is where you load it. So this is the famous Grammary Golden Gun. They say kids used to love pretending they had one of these. I wonder if they pretended to miss their targets, too. Is that it? I don't really remember. It's also, this is... Can I? Yes, I can. Use my mouse for that. No. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Fires one real bullet. Barrel marks match bullet found in victim. No fingerprints found. Is it this one with the... We have to present the gun, obviously, because we just got that. But... I feel like it's this. Hold on. I like hearing the old music. I missed it. I don't remember. That feels right. Objection! Yeah. Because then what markings match the different gun? Trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed a bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and...
Objection! Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not.
A murder weapon? How?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. Oh, much less complicated than I made it out to be. If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too. Yarn. That's not a contradiction. Not even close. What the fuck is that noise? Oh, it's a plane. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where did he get the extra bullet? They're not easy to come by, you know. This game originally takes place in Japan. If you claim the defendant had one ready. Much less complicated than I made it out to be is the Ace Attorney motto. Not always. Sometimes it's like, well, you think it's because he shot the gun, but it's actually because the gun was on a countertop, and that countertop, it looks like a gun. I don't fucking know. Then prove to us how he got it. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales. And utter lack of humility.
What's this? Seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, Herr Detective was just the warm-up act. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gramarye who shot the victim in the forehead. I solved the trick the killer used 20 minutes ago, let me say it! That bit me in the ass in the first case of the Great Ace Attorney, because the whole time I was just like, ha, there's no poison in the bottle because the cup was poisoned instead of the liquid, which is wildly wrong. It's not at all correct. And I was so confident about it. And I was not correct at all.
Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach.
Court is adjourned.
That's not the to be continued, is it? Oh, it is! Damn, I really paced these weird. Hold on. Do we finish the 7 years later part? It's only 8:30. Yeah, let's just finish the 7 years ago part. Fuck it. I hope this next part isn't, like, obscenely long. Hold on, I'm gonna check the guide. I don't think it is. It's been 2 years since I played it, but, like, I am pretty sure there's enough, like... That's probably how the pacing should go. Learn about Succession, Strategy Wiki, my beloved. Okay, trial ladder. How long is this? Ooh, I forgot about that witness. Yeah, let's just keep going. Probably shouldn't watch this. I'm only on Justice for All. You probably shouldn't. But welcome anyway. This is the final case of Apollo Justice, and I am not playing it blind. Also, you should finish Justice for All and play Trials and Tribulations, because that is my favorite mainline Ace Attorney game. Oh, I forgot to do my spiel. I forgot to do my thing. Hold on. Let me do my ow, I kicked something under my desk. Let me do my funky... Ricky, hi! Me when the pen badgely gave you... Alright, let me do the spiel. So, if you're not already a part of it, you can join my Discord community server where we talk about stuff like Ace Attorney, the Yakuza series, Vocaloid, whatever anime's on. Mostly the Great Ace Attorney. There is no channel quite as active as my Great Ace Attorney, just spoiler channel. If you are new to the Ace Attorney series and you haven't played the second trilogy, You can buy the second trilogy, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is the best Ace Attorney game, or Ghost Trick Phantom Detective off of my Nexus store. I think I also have the first 3 Devil May Cry games on there right now. It's been a hot second since I checked. But you can probably buy the first 3 Devil May Cry games on there right now. I get a cut of the proceeds, so you support me, and also you get to play the game. Hell yeah, Ghost Trick. Everybody should play Ghost Trick. Like, just, you have to play on Ghost Trick. Go right next to Kate's Discord on my list. So true. It's like largely the same people. There's a lot of the same people in there. But anyway, what the hell was I gonna say? What the hell else is on my usual spiel? Do I have Ghost Trick, my beloved? Do I have one for my throne wish list? I don't think I do. I super don't. That's embarrassing. Anyway, as far as I know, those are my things. Things that I have coming up this week. Usually on Thursdays, I play The Great Ace Attorney on my friend Max's channel. I don't think we're playing this week. I'm not sure. But I might be playing The Great Ace Attorney on Max's channel tomorrow. And then I will be playing Great Ace Attorney on Kate's channel on... that schedule might also depend. But I play Great Ace Attorney twice a week on other people's channels because I am normal about the Great Ace Attorney. I will be back to this stream sometime next week. I don't know when. I usually stream on Mondays, but the past few weeks I've decided to do other days because I've been feeling lazy. Yeah, my favorite day of the week since... Anyway, that's my spiel. We should continue this case.
Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less.
I bought the Great Ace Attorney on Switch. Should I finish the Phoenix and Apollo trilogies first? So, I am of the opinion that while these can all be played separately, my recommended order is to start with the Phoenix Wright trilogy, then do the Apollo Justice trilogy, then do the Great Ace Attorney trilogy. Why? Because the early games are not bad. They are some of my favorite games on the planet. My favorite game on the planet is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles 2. But Great Ace Attorney was made well over a decade after the first 2 trilogies. So there's some gameplay and like practicality things that are not as polished yet, which is good because that's how video games should work. I personally would go with Phoenix Wright and then Apollo Justice. I don't think Apollo Justice is a bad starting place if you feel like trying out a slightly different story. And the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, for some people, is a good starting place because the tone is wildly different. I think it's a darker game than the others. Most people think it's a darker game. I, while playing it, had to check if it was rated M several times. It's not, it's rated D. But I always want more people to play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles too. But like, yeah, I think the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is like everything Shu Takumi wanted to do. You see a lot of that in the Layton crossover from what I've heard. It's so good. But like I would play the earlier games first. I think that's the way to enjoy them. Play her. Everybody play Ghost Trick and the Great Ace Attorney. They're so good. But play regular Ace Attorney first. Or watch the Ace Attorney anime first, honestly. Like, I think story-wise, gameplay-wise, it's better to play the earlier games first. But if you're not planning on playing all of them, start wherever the hell you want. You might just be a little confused. Going back to specifically the first Ace Attorney game after playing like Great Ace Attorney is insane because you clearly see they haven't like ironed out everything yet. They haven't entirely decided how like presenting evidence or traveling works, and they're limited by things like disk space. Investigations 1. I've heard a lot of really good things about Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. We're probably going to stream that over on Max's channel after we're done with the regular games. So I'm not touching it until then. But I've heard a lot of really good things about the Professor Layton one. I also want to play a Professor Layton game before I play that. Because I've heard there's a thing that you get better if you understand how a Layton game is like structured narratively. Sorry, that was an extremely long answer. Everybody should play the Great Ace Attorney always. As a Frenchman, I should probably play. Is Layton really big in France? That's funny. There's a couple French people here and there in Great Ace Attorney, which is always funny. Yeah. I do think Great Ace Attorney is like, I think Shu Takumi was really excited to make it because he'd been wanting to make a Sherlock Holmes game for a while, I think, before he made that, and it wasn't initially going to be like an Ace Attorney game, and then he like accidentally made the greatest Ace Attorney story of all time. Yeah. You'll see similarities across Apollo Justice, Rise from the Ashes, and then the Layton crossover with Great Ace Attorney because it has my Ace Attorney Dream Team, which is Shu Takumi has made the game, and then Kazuya Nori is art directing on it. And his art direction is so good. I love the art direction on Great Ace Attorney. Anyway, I'm extremely normal about the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and I enjoy it a normal amount. Why would you ever think that I enjoyed it more than a normal person? Why would you ever think that? Why would you ever? There's other merch on my. I can cover up the spoiler. No, it fell apart. She lied as she breathed. Okay, I'm covering up a spoiler. Why would you ever think that I like the Ace Attorney Chronicles? The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I know the title of the game I like. Why would you ever think that I like them a lot? I don't know why you would think that. I gotta cover up another spoiler. It's the same spoiler. Why would you ever think that ever in your life? I don't. My Ida bag is like on the ground over there and it's covered in spoilers. The really fancy art book. I also have that. Hold on. Remember when we were playing Apollo Justice, guys? Hold on. I have that if it's the same one that you're thinking of. I also have several stickers on my desk right now. And I also have, I have a print wall that I can't show because one, it's over there. You get afflicted with Kazuma-Soki disease. Yeah, I have a print wall that's also covered in spoilers. If you mean this one, Turnabout Century, this zine is beautiful. Hi, Nick. This zine is beautiful. Nick, now that you're moving back here and you're almost done with this game, you can look through this when you're here. Nick, I'm gonna hand you this book and you're gonna flip through it and you're gonna scream at the top of your lungs. I only got this through leftover sales, and I'm so lucky to have gotten it because this is such a beautiful zine. Having an international zine is always really cool, and also like having a physical zine at all. There's a couple of other ones that I have over there, but this one's hardcover and has gold foil on the front, and some of the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen in my life. You'll be finished by the Great Ace Attorney soon, and you can look through this. Yeah. Literally remind me to show you this, like, the next time I physically see you. I have to put this back. Anyway. Yeah, I'm normal about the Great Ace Attorney. Yeah, I know what's happening. Woo! Yes. I feel like such an outsider. Well, play the games and then you'll get it. But yeah. I'm also in the Great Ace Attorney Investigation zine, which I think pre-orders have closed for it already, but it's a similar, like, setup as that zine is, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. Oh, speaking of zines, actually. Speaking of zines in this specific game, there is a Gaviner's fan album project coming out. I've linked it in my Discord. The Great Ace Attorney disease gets you. You're never like, I'll never like anything more than mainline Ace Attorney, and then it gets you. No, I was not sure I would like it that much, and now it's my entire life. But, sorry, there is a Gaviner's fan album project going on. It works sort of similarly to a zine, but I think the plan is to have some music, original music written and performed by Ace Attorney fans, which I think is really cool. Ace Attorney just has so many cool fan projects. You gotta get into the brain rot, because people do things like this, and it's really, really cool. Anyway, we're playing an Ace Attorney game. I just talked about how much I love Ace Attorney on the Ace Attorney stream for like 15 minutes straight. I'm gonna link my Discord again because it did just get buried by all that, but yeah, my Discord, I try to promote stuff like that when I can. Please, you know what? I always want to talk about Ace Attorney. Clearly. You are so welcome to get me sidetracked if it means I'm convincing more people to play Ace Attorney. Let's get back into the game.
Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less. The Ace Attorney stream. That's stream for Ace Attorney. That's stream. The Ace Attorney stream.
We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually.
I did not think you would believe me if I told you.
Better that you discovered the truth for yourself. Sorry, I don't have two monitors. I should have two monitors, but there's like no space on my desk, and also like then I have to deal with another thing. So I shove this gameplay screen all the way to the left, and so it cuts off people's names. And I only slide it back when it's important.
I was thinking of you, you know.
I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened?
Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright.
Do we think they...
You'll scare Trucy.
I mean, nothing, what? Sorry. Just joined the Discord and remembered that I also want to be extremely normal with you about Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third, my beloved.
Speaking of which, where is she? You have seen the problem yourself, the letter.
The one shot in the forehead one, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
The Grammarys go so crazy. Like, why?
Why not? This is something I will not say, for now at least.
What's this for now business?
I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly.
Did you have sex with my daddy?
Love loses.
But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves.
What the hell is wrong with the Grammarys? We?
You wanted to know about the night of the incident.
Cursed Pride Month. That redacted as your Discord server picture? That is redacted dead on the floor as my Discord server picture. Yeah, Eiko Masayama did pass away a few days ago. It was very sad to see that. Thank you for the follow, Leah Bobeka. Yeah, Fujiko Mine's voice actor did sadly pass away a couple of days ago. She was also the original voice of Cutie Honey, I think. Very, very iconic voice actor. I know Jigen's voice actor also passed away a couple years ago, I think. But yeah. Anyway, Lupin the Third is very good. Everybody should watch Lupin the Third. What part of Lupin the Third you should watch? Depends.
You wanted to know about the night of the incident.
Yeah, he did pass away a couple years ago. The Lupin the Third voice actors are very old. They've all been voicing people for very long periods of time. His new voice actor actually is the guy who plays Adachi in Yakuza. And you can sort of hear it when he talks. He sounds like Jigen. Especially if you listen to his cover of Machine Gun Kiss, which is the best cover of Machine Gun Kiss. I want to say he's also the voice of Solid Snake in Japanese. That sounds right. I think it's him. Part 2 is so good. Part 2, I think, is the best introduction to Lupin the Third. Because it's like watching like Tom and Jerry or Popeye, but they get to say swears. Finally, this guy sure likes taking his time to get to the important stuff. He's just like me, for real. Oh, Solid Snake. I don't know anything about Metal Gear myself. It's Blorbo and Laws for me. I know some characters, and I have friends who really like Metal Gear. I fear that series might, like, it might get me, because I'm already into Yakuza, and I feel like the two paths that could get to is either I get really into Red Dead Redemption, or into Metal Gear Solid. I'm already into Yakuza and Kingdom Hearts, so, like, Metal Gear Metal Gear is dangerously close. Anyway.
Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time and found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols.
I have no idea what the Zach voice is that I'm doing. 2.
Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valant.
Oh, for the Zach and Valance quick draw thing. I've avoided Kingdom Hearts like the plague. I didn't touch Kingdom Hearts, and then Max, who I stream Great Ace Attorney with, and Cinna, who was also on those streams, when we lived together, he was like, I'm doing my yearly Kingdom Hearts replay, and you guys are going to watch it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then Axel made me cry. And then I wrote an academic paper about Kingdom Hearts.
My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then for a moment.
Wait, sorry. Unrelated. I guess kind of related. A couple people joined my Discord, so I want to see how close to the funny number we are. We are very close to the funny number. We're at 67 members on my Discord. Actually, I don't know if that counts because one of them is a repeat attempt to join, but close to the funny number. 2 away. Or 3 away. We'll see. Anyway. Hello? Or Discord's doing something. Anyway. Left and join a few times because Discord was broken. No, it's okay. That just means that you get a couple of extra Sholmes banners.
Cannot deny that my resolve faltered then, for a moment.
Sounds like you need the Great Ace Attorney 2 resolve. I'm gonna name this stream VOD Great Ace Attorney Propaganda. You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? But I'm just...
Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first.
So there were other requests you couldn't refuse before. Knowing the shit that Magnify has on them, hypnotizing you, ooh, you want to play the Great Ace Attorney so bad. Knowing the shit, not Valent, son of a bitch, Magnify. Knowing the shit that Magnify has on these people, I'm like, what else? I know one thing that he made them do. What else did you make him do? God. The Gramarys are so messy. I think about them a normal amount. So there were other requests you couldn't refuse before.
To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Shrusi.
Was Magnify coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Grammarly?
Yet in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown.
If you handed Shu Takumi, like, money and told him, like, make a Troop Grammarly movie, like, he would write the most insane plotline, I'm sure. If you think about them a normal amount, I get the feeling you don't think about them a normal amount. Listen, if there is a messy, terrible trio in Ace Attorney, I will love them. Not seeing the Discord channels. Am I doing something wrong? You might be running into an issue with both Discord, like, as Discord, and then, like, my server have reactions that you can do for accepting the rules. You might need to do it via, like, the Discord thing, and then also do it in my rules channel. That's in the sidebar. That might be it. If that doesn't work, feel free to DM me and I can try and help you figure it out after the stream. I assume it will let you DM me. If it doesn't, I am on Twitter at Twifairy Cosplay and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch or Twifairy. So you can message me and I can try and get you onto the Discord. Anyway.
I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. In your pocket? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called?
Rifling marks. They're like the fingerprints of a gun.
Yes, well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case.
Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me?
You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright.
Haven't properly cosplayed in years. Ooh, you want to cosplay more so bad? Thanks?
Yes, there is something. My mentor. His eyes opened.
What? Magnifique Grammary. Yay, you made it.
The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway.
Last time I did was Sebastian the Best. More people need to cosplay Sebastian the Best. I would love to do a wig for Sebastian. I just don't want to cosplay him. He's not really like my style of character. I've done a K-wig for a client before. Back when I did occasional wig commissions.
And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion. Maybe 5-10 minutes or so.
What did you talk about? I just sneeze.
Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case.
That Grammary seems pretty steadfast to me. Or maybe just stubborn. Phoenix, you're not a great judge of character. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom.
Once again, I am in your hands.
Right. Let's get back in there.
Court is now back in session.
During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head.
Well, this is news. And the rifling marks?
There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis. Conveniently. The forensics and ace attorney. Oh, he's hot? Yeah. Though they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon. Why does that... It's being cryptic. Well, from one cryptic motherfucker to another, I suppose I can respect that. Why did I have to permit the word motherfucker? Wait, whoa, what happened to Clavier? This is him when he's 17! Hi, Nick. Welcome to the flashback case. This is him when he's 17. He just had shorter hair. Also, Nick, I need you specifically to know that Sage saw fan art of this Clavier and texted me. I need you to tell me right now, does Clavier cut his hair? And I had to be like, no, don't worry. He grows it out. It's okay. It's so funny. It was so funny. I love Sage.
Oh, they did find They did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon. Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think.
Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job.
Maybe I hack apart my Clavier wig because I don't like it and make it into this Clavier. Because I obviously have everything else for my Clavier cosplay.
After all, he's intimately acquainted with the players in our little production. Being the other half of Troop Grammary's famous duo, Zack and Valent.
Valent Grammary. Fuck, I have to remember my Valent voice! So we get to meet the great Magnifie's other disciple. Hello, Valent with no facial hair. And no graying hair.
Perhaps I'll start by asking your name and occupation.
Valent Grammary. Magician.
And you're the decisive witness, are you?
Guys, I only have so many voices. There's so many guys in this case.
You can prove your fellow student, your partner's guilt.
Fate. The grand illusion. Filled with traps and tricks. Call stand the unit, but I mean Valent Grammary. Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock at night. I'm gonna head out so I don't see too many spoilers. Thank you for dropping by anyway. Have a nice night. Too much men. Yeah, there's so many men in this case. Like, when I said there's so many guys in this case, I meant there's so many people, but also there's so many men in this case. I only have so many voices. Fellow Chicagoan, hello! Yippee, Chicago mentioned! Why is it so hot here right now? Anyway. Chicago mentioned. Wait, the shooting took place in that hospital after 11 o'clock at night. Also, I hope the noise gate is not letting the aggressive fan noises, both from my computer and the hand fan that I have. I hope it's not picking them up too much. Graduated from the college in the Chicago suburbs. Chicago mentioned! If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? 2 years and I never set foot in Chicago proper. I don't know what people not from Chicago do in Chicago. I'm gonna be so real. I can't be like, oh, you have to go to... I don't know what you have to go to. If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes. Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? My thing with my troop grammary voices is I try to make it sound like they're all, like, doing a theater voice, because they're like that in my head. But something deep dish pizza bean something. The deuce, is bro about to start dancing? God, I hope not. All this talk about partners and dancing. Which is the opposite. If you come out to Boston, I will give you so much to do. I know what I do when I go to Chicago, but that's not like a, oh, I'm going into the city. It's like it's a adventure that's like a, I just happen to be in Chicago for something. The museums are nice. I would go to the museums if you're in Chicago. Those are nice. And also they do a lot of free days. So if you manage to time it right, go when it's free. Art Institute, Field Museum, those are nice. If you... I can't read. I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this. That looks very familiar. My god, they're reusing the assets. Wait. That's the same letter Zach Gramery received. Same JPEG and everything. Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da! What a pose. Order, order, order! What does it say? Surely not the same thing. Perhaps you should... Perhaps you should see... Not beating the Kazuma Kinney allegations. Perhaps you should... I'm not beating the Kazuma Kinney allegations. Perhaps you should see for yourself. That was so difficult. Why? Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence. My parents were recently in London, actually. And so, like, the whole time I was just like, aha! Kazuma Kinney moment. My parents are in London. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? I ask myself that constantly. What exactly was your troop grammary up to? I ask myself that constantly. By which you mean? I'm having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Kazuma Brain Rot goes crazy. Kazuma Brain Rot. No, guys, I'm so. Where's my camera? I'm so normal about Kazuma. So, does this still have a zip tie on it? What con is this from? When did I get Kazuma zip tied? The last con I brought him to was... Oh no, this is from Uchicon. I was like, where did I bring Kazuma? Because Asen didn't peace tie this. Yeah, I always have Kazuma right next to me. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This sword tells me where I need to go and cuts down anything that's in my way. And it still has a peace tie on it from the time I was at that anime convention at the University of Chicago. Chicago mentioned! God. So much is happening on today's stream, guys. I need to repaint that thing. It looks ugly. Or Karuma. Both of them, no less. It's just my opinion here, Judge.
But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. The Japanese man's katana is his soul. His sword guides me and cuts down any salami that's in my way. Kazuma. I miss him. I miss him, I say, when he's like literally on my desk like 4 times. He's my lock screen, literally. We walked the magician's path together and in doing, shared much of our lives. What is going on in Troop Grammary? I think they're married but should get a divorce. Anyway. When people are so close, there is strain. A warping of relations, you might say. Mine is a ghost trick lock screen. Nice. I have... Oh my god, I can't show you guys. It went nuts on Twitter, so it's fine. But it's stuck on my wall over there. But I have the... nothing I want to be a part of. I have the Apollo Justice and Sissel ghost trick print up on my wall now, which is a very large print. My lock and home screen is also Grey Ace Attorney. My home screen is my, like, the, like, gradient that I use as, like, a base for everything. Like, you know how my overlay here is, like, the gradient with the grid on it? Yeah, the one by Datcravat. But yeah, I just use the, like, gradient as my home screen, because I used to have a home screen that was a, like, traditional Korean-inspired art interpretation of The Birth of Venus, and I really liked that, but I couldn't find it again, so... And I got a new phone. Yet, this has nothing to do with the case at hand. No, but I'm very fascinated about everything that you are describing Troop Grammary as being like. So I would love to hear it. By which you mean you're not gonna tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. To be fair, they do go by cravat as far as I know. God, allergies. The defendant, Zach Graveray, stands accused. Tell us why. Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise singing hymns to the miracle that is magic. Why do you talk like that? Fascinating, though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder, the weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time. Why was that laugh so strained? As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes, and now it's time to get this party fired up. But who's doing fireworks right now? That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifi requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. What a set of words. None of these words are in the Bible. Actually, several of those words are in the Bible multiple times, I'm sure. Then I informed the doctor and the police. So you were the one who reported the crime? Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Somebody's never played Among Us. Let's not jump to any conclusions. Yes, the cross-examination generally comes in before the conclusions in this court. But if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Grammary, is guilty. And if it wasn't Zach Grammary, then the killer was you, Valent. Or it was a secret third option. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. Oh my god, my fan. Trying to gently close it. Okay. Let's see if I can figure it out, like, immediately instead of pressing every single thing again. Judge, jumping to conclusions is this court's prime directive. Smell of gunpowder. Can't imagine my fellow student. There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I turn up. Mr. Valent. Mr. Valent? Let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely, bullet in the pistol. Oh shit, I don't remember. The number of pistols. How many pistols were there when you entered this room? By which you mean what, precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zack and Valent quick-draw shoot-'em, correct? 1 for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in that hospital room that night. What did Zack tell me back in the lobby? Because I don't remember. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time, and found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. Took the pistol I had fired and placed it into my pocket. See no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam, alakazing, alakaboom. Is the number of pistols really so important? Quite important. I don't remember why, but it's quite important. The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. Unless I am totally wrong and it's one of the other dialogue branches. What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown. Go back. No, stop. Okay. Let me actually look at all of my stuff. Okay. Body in the hospital room, shot dead. That's syringe, I think, I need to look at. Single gunshot to the head. Loss of blood from bullet wound. Blood that is not visible at all. Note, malignant tumor found in the victim's liver. It seems fate's seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer, at least. Only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Magnifica's chart. Malignant tumor has progressed to final stage with no hope of recovery. That sure is a way to phrase it. Patient has 3 months to live. Patient has chronic diabetes, requires regular insulin. Insulin syringe. Has been washed and has no signs of use. Wait, what? Shows no signs of use. Okay. Oh, I remember what the bit is. I always hated getting shots. I guess Magnifi was giving himself the insulin shots. There's no way I could do that. Ugh. Wait. Magnifi used this to inject it with his insulin. Why are there no traces of it having been used? Something to keep in mind. Okay, Magnifi's letter. You'll ready a gun with which you will shoot 1 shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse me both know the reason why. We looked at the gun already. Magnifi's second letter says 11:20. The scent of gunpowder was still in the air for that. I don't know how long the smell of gunpowder would last, but I want to look at the other dialogue branches really quick. Oh, I didn't read that. So you took the only pistol there and fired it. That's correct. And that pistol was this one, which was left at this crime scene. Crime scene, those are the words I'm saying. Good show. I see you, too, are a magician of sorts. Not a magician of shorts. And you're an idiot of sorts. Do you have any idea what you just said? Wait. I see the fire in your eyes as you glare at the witness. So how about heating up this trial a bit? These slow ballads bore me. Got a hunch, but maybe that's all it is. Maybe I should go ask about something else? Let's ask about the bullet. I feel like the location of the pistol is gonna be it, but... In order to shoot a pistol, you need a bullet. Where was the bullet? I entered the room and took the pistol in my hand. The bullet was already loaded, ready to fire at any time. A magician is always prepared, you see. Prepared for... One never knows when a miracle will be called for. A magician always has 7 doves in his pocket and a white rabbit up each sleeve. Comment about pressing gave me a fun cross-examination idea. Single statement testimony that can spread out into like 3 statements, and then each of those statements can split into 3 statements, and only one contains the contradiction. That was how like I thought this game would work before I got really into it, and I realized, oh, there's like a formula to these that's much simpler. Clearly we're... My god, I don't know what it is with Clavier's dialogue today. Clearly we're dealing with professionals here. Is this bullet that was loaded in the pistol really that important? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's just funny dialogue. Yeah, I think it's just funny dialogue. I think it's the 3rd one. Actually, let me ask about something else. Very well. The witness may continue with the testimony. What can I do but obey? Oh, I already said that. Okay. Go back. Press again. Nope, don't present. Press. Story mode for a second. Okay. The location of the pistol. Where exactly was the pistol when you entered the room? Atop a small bedside table it was. As if to say, here I am, take me into your hand, pull my trigger, shoot him. Why do you talk like this? The victim clearly wanted to be shot. But why? Perhaps he wanted to go out with a bang. Too soon, Clavier? No, kidding. Yet we will never hear the truth from his lips, so all we can do is guess. So location of the pistol, all that important. I guess it is the one I was already talking about. Yeah, it is the one I was already talking about. Let me actually pay attention to what the hell Valen said. Why do you talk like this? Yeah, grammar. Let me ask about something else. Alright, what were you talking about? Why are the Grammarys like this? Do you have any idea what you just said? Okay. Did he just say it was left at the crime scene? That was the problem? It said I shot the clown and then left it at the... Bro, I don't know what he just said. Like, took the only pistol there and fired it. That pistol was this one, which was left at the crime scene. That's not it, is it? Let's run with this testimony for a while longer. Both the McAfee students received the same letter. Both admit to having gone to the hospital that night. 2 bullets were fired, and one of them killed McAfee. Time to find the cracks in his testimony. What the fuck? I don't remember. So, you weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby? I did not consider this, to be honest. It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid. Now you are the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination. Witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. Funny. Which brings us back to this reason neither of you could refuse. So it does, and my partner, he did not refuse. But McAfee wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zack couldn't? Because I have a will of steel. Of course, I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't also strong. Which is it? Mind if I continue? Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m.? Indeed. In magic, timing is everything. Right. Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic. Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. You were at the designated time. You went at the designated time, and what did you see? And then you call the police. So you informed the police. What did you do then? What do you suppose I did? Used my magic to levitate my mentor's corpse, perhaps? I don't know, that's why I'm asking. Now please answer the question and skip the sarcasm. After I made my report, I called the doctor and we returned to the room. While we waited for the police to arrive, we discussed stomach medicine. We've confirmed this with the doctor. It all checks out. He praised Mr. Vallon's knowledge of stomach medicine, in fact. What the hell? Why? It is an honor I do not deserve, but I accept. Both McAfee students received the same letter. I thought I shot the clown. Bro, I don't know what it is. It's not just a sassy pit, it's a sarcasm. That's not right. Jokes don't get any better on kids' streams. Bro, I don't remember. I do not remember. May need to ask Toodles. Objection! Oh, that's it? I guessed. According to the defendant, Zach Grammary, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2? That's not a contradiction.
One of the pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. And he left with it in his pocket. Yeah, but if Zack is lying, then he shot Magnifi and then left with it in his pocket. Like, that's not a contradiction. Like, I know he didn't do it, but... Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Valent has told us? Is this the point that's different? You see, there's something about this testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. Is it he shouldn't have known that there was only one? That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story, Mr. Valent. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. Mr. Valent, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Okay. Order, order, order! Wait, okay, hold on. If you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Unless we go with the reload theory. Well, this is all rather sudden. What have I done? Oh, no, wait, I get it. Prosecutor Gavin. I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proves the type of gun that fired them. Objection! But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? That was just this morning! I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted that he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, he said the thing, he would not be having this pleasant discussion now. What year was Clavier born? Clavier's Gen Z, right? Hold on, I'm checking. Actually, he might not be. No, he's Gen Z. I think he is. Let's double check. What year were you born, Clavier? Oh my god, he's younger than me. No, he is Gen Z. He was born 2001 or 2002. Funny. Valent Grammary. Yes, Your Honor? Oh, because he and Emma are the same age, I think. He might even be younger. Because I think she's 2000 to 2001, and he's 2001 to 2002. You are presented to this court as a decisive witness. But you've proven to be more divisive than decisive. Decisive. Inflection funny. You'll see in time. God, rewatching this, I'm playing it, replaying this, it's wild. I'm one of those people born in 97 who fits into neither generation. I was born in 2000, so like, I am also occasionally a little weird. Gen Z starts with Fran and Maya, and then Alpha starts with Trucy. That sounds right. I think that's correct. Athena is hilariously on the Gen Z Alpha border, I think. Or she's like very close to Gen Alpha. I always forget how young she is. But she and Trucy are like not that far apart in age. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next. She is, which is wild. I mean, to be fair, she's like 17, right? In Dual Destinies, I want to say, or like freshly 18. Like, she's really young. Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin? Which, when I got into Ace Attorney, I want to say I was 20. I think I was 20. I was 20 or 21. She's freshly 18. Yeah, so like I was slightly closer to Athena's age, and I was like, that's not that young. And then like every year, I'm like, oh my god, she's 18. Good god. Is she the same age as Pearl? I think Pearl is the same age as Trucy. Yeah, that sounds... I think those 3 are like about the same age. And the reason that always trips me up is that like Trucy and Pearl are a pretty common ship, but then occasionally people will ship Trucy with like Athena or Pearl with Athena. And every time I like initially heard it, I was just like, what? That can't be right. Athena's like, and then like you go and check their ages, and then it's like, oh wait, no, that is like a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old. That's not actually like, that's just like two people that know each other in high school. What are you talking about? And it like, because you get Athena presented to you as a fully fledged lawyer. And so I'm like, she's like in her 20s, right? She's not. She's a teenager. She's very young.
His baby.
When Mr. Valent entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot, which Clavier right now is 17. So, like, again, always these baby prosecutors. As his next testimony will prove, Herr Wright, the real fight is about to begin. Bring it.
Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what.
Playing investigations, one with no idea who that man is. God. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. Pearl is at most months younger than Athena and a bit older than Trucy. They're so... Yeah, because Pearl is 18 by Spirit of Justice, I'm pretty sure, which is wild. She's so big now. God.
Early.
I also, playing the first Investigations game as an intro to Ace Attorney must be the most bizarre way to start the series, because none of the gameplay is the same as anything. I feel like the story isn't really similar to anything else either. Like, what an introduction. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. You go in with Kay and then never see her again. She's in Investigations too. You get her in one other game. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. Damn, I didn't pay attention to any of the words that I just said.
Times are rather close, you have to admit.
Honestly, though, like, you get a good sense of Edgeworth's character in the Investigations games. That's like one of the things that I think they do pretty well. There's a couple of things in the Investigations games that I think are a little bit off, but that's like getting into Edgeworth as a character and then playing really the entire trilogy. Like, that's a fun way to go about it.
Talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. Use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi.
It's easy to explain in this situation, Herr Judge. For example, take our debut hit single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love. Cue to the song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, the result is the same. Their debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a ripoff. Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus Pocus requires an admirable focus. Do you think you're funny, Clavier? And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth.
Very well. Prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise times. And we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision.
Oh man, I love when there's time in a cross-examination in Ace Attorney. I can always remember what the time precision is. I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations. It would have been cool to see Sebastian as the main prosecutor for an Apollo Justice game and then have the final case pit Apollo against Edgeworth. I want to see Apollo against Edgeworth so bad because I really love the idea of those two being friends. Because I think Edgeworth could like Apollo. I like the idea of those being friends in the way that, like, Apollo really looks up to him as the chief prosecutor and as a pretty, like, a very successful and, like, prolific prosecutor at the time. And really, like, one of the people focused on making sure prosecution works the way we like it to work in Ace Attorney, where the prosecution's actually nice to you and pursues the truth instead of winning. The two of them would just be doubled down with all the nonsense. There's so much possibility for funny in an Apollo versus Edgeworth case. If you do like Edgeworth and Apollo interacting, there's a drama CD for, I want to say, Dual Destinies, where I think it's Dual Destinies and not Spirit of Justice, where Edgeworth essentially hires Athena and Apollo as his interns for a day, or like for a week or something. It's very cute. It's fun.
Lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands. Point taken.
Also lets Apollo stand up to his mentor's rival. Yeah. I also think personality-wise, like, I wouldn't say Edgeworth is similar to Kristoff, but going up against another lawyer who's very, like, very precise in his methods would be fun.
Baseless remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright.
Carry on. Right. Prim and proper. Oh. Who shot what? Arrived in the hospital at the appointed time, which is 11:20. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. Only one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. Nope, go back. I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time?
We do usually only get an estimated time of death, true.
All of Apollo's prosecutor rivals have all been over the top, AA6 notwithstanding.
I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death. Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction. See, another person has done their arithmetic homework.
The point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible in the photograph of the scene. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim Magnifi Grammary's schedule. Every night at 11, Magnifi took an IV drip for 30 minutes.
I can see the IV bag right there, yes.
Now look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the bag to the end.
Ah, the needle's been removed.
Doubtlessly, it fell out when he was shot.
That would seem to be the case.
Or, like, that's not, like, 100% though. When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. You could just measure the remaining IV liquid. Precisely. Oh, Athena and Kay would be fun. The IV liquid functions, for our purposes, as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began. I was about to be like, this could all be solved if they had just had, you know, a security camera in the hospital room, or like near the hospital room in the hallway. But then we've also had Ace Attorney cases with security cameras. And so it was, when I, Valent, entered that room, 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Did that seem important? Yeah, it did. Well, seeing as how it is the biggest clue we have to the time of death, I'd say it's very important.
Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time.
Apollo and Athena bicker like an old married couple. I love the, like, the lawyer and assistant basically just, like, smacking each other in the middle of the trial, being like, listen!
Hold the power of arithmetic. Very well. Witness will add this detail to the testimony.
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence. 30 minutes required to administer full IV from the amount remaining. IV stopped 10 minutes after administration began. Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance? Lawyer Odd Girl Equilibrium. When I first entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then his left arm did I spy a rose drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle.
Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot, luckily for you. If that Ivy had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color. Your lucky color? When will we get a proper lawyer girl odd boy set up? Real. Actually, that's kind of what the first case of Great Ace Attorney 2 is. Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self. For it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valent won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians. I wonder if that's the association that the magician in Great Ace Attorney 2-3 belongs to. I was adorned— who is doing fireworks? I was adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy, a bust. Ah, what a day that was. Not the Max Galactica bust. Oh, this is one trip down memory lane no one needs. My lucky color, yes indeed. And that IV too. Hold on. What is— there we go. Who is doing— I don't know why they're fucking fireworks happening. I don't know if that's getting picked up by the mic at all. Lawyer girl odd boy case with Phoenix's first case working for Mia. Yeah. I think somebody's doing a Mia fan game right now with Phoenix as the assistant. I feel like that's right. I say, I think 'twas hued especially for me, Valent. That does seem to be the case, indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony? Alan sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? There's a contradiction. Is this the thing that I think it is? Yeah. This is a silly testimony, but it certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck. But not this time. Mr. Valent, your lucky colors betrayed you. I'm afraid you've lost me. Your Honor. The witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence. What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized. Do hope this latest accusation is well-based. Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. Oh my god, Maya and Phoenix not meeting, like, the way they have to make for the entire Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker and Grievous never see each other. There's an episode that they didn't make where they do, I think it's a hostage transfer between Grievous and Anakin, and they have them literally, like, pass each other exactly and not see each other. It's so funny. Don't worry. I assure you, it's quite based. I've got all your bases right here. Very well. Let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts what Mr. Valent has told us?
I think it's this. I think this is a stupid bit of testimony, but I think that's the answer.
The crime scene tells all, Your Honor. The photo of the crime scene? All this talk of color has me yearning for a black and white, clear-cut simplicity. Tell us, Herr Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure, and as I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Honey. Live and living color, let me take you for a ride. See live and living color. Okay. It'd be actually really funny if they were like super self-aware about the fact that they have to keep coming up with reasons why they miss each other. Funny. They should do, yeah, like a Mia fan game where Maya is there and then Maya's just like,
Why do you never introduce me to that weird assistant that you have?
Catch Me If You Can is so good. Catch Me If You Can was the last musical I did in high school. Actually, it's the last actual stage musical that I ever did. I didn't do another musical again until I was in TAM. But yeah. Valent Grammary, let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. Oh, that would have been so fun on Broadway. It's yellow, yes? Catch Me If You Can's a really good show. It's a really good adaptation of the movie, too. Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes. Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. I may have gone to art school, but I don't understand color theory. That said, this works out. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. What's this?
Confusion, doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy?
Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valent. Look at that IV bag.
What's this? What foul magic?
It'd be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph.
Look at this photograph.
Alika's...
Alika, no!
Order, order, order! What does this mean? This is some kind of mistake.
Nobody in the courtroom understands color theory. Which works in our favor, but like... Okay, because the bit... Sorry for anybody playing blind. The bit is that the IV bag liquid is blue. He only knows it's yellow because he opened up the IV bag liquid. But also, like, you would... If it's a clear blue bag, and you look at it and it's green, you could... I think you could be able to tell visually from outside the bag that it's yellow.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin. But what is this mistake?
The greener they are, the harder they fall. Suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valent Grammary, as you reminded us several times. Your lucky color is yellow. In this JPEG, it's a lot more green. But the IV is clearly not. Well... This contradiction can mean only one thing. Witness is colorblind. And to think, you almost had me. I see your true colors. Ace Attorney Phoenix, right?
Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence.
Yes, the contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright.
What do you mean?
How? Ace Attorney, they said the name of the game. That's the end of it, guys. How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree at a glance the IV liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you the liquid itself is quite yellow.
Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green.
Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook?
Looks like a... I want to say light blue?
Precisely. Figured it out yet? Say, Chief, why haven't you introduced me to your sister? Do you appreciate the check that I pay you, right? Well, then you should be glad that I haven't yet. All of that paycheck will go to buying burgers. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid in a blue bag and... you get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color.
See, your explanation does have the ring of truth to it.
Okay, Objection! As I thought. There's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. What? I like that they have this moment of Phoenix figuring this out without the player doing it. Like, he gets this brain cell moment. We get to let him have one win in this case. You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is. Grave. Mia's internal monologue on Charlie. I hope we get Mia's internal monologue on Charlie, and she goes up to it and goes, I keep watering this thing out of habit, but they don't really know that it's actually plastic. Liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? Quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? I guess the instinct would not be to think it's yellow, though. If it's as visually different as it's supposed to be in that, like, evidence little pop-up that we got, because, like, on here... Or maybe it's just because I know it's supposed to be yellow. I don't know. Ugh. Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask. How did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Pursuit time. Oh god. Hold on. Letting the pursuit music play for a second. Pursuit, my beloved. Okay. Oh, cause OMG. The classic. Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. Witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid. I'm sure it means something, but what? I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valiant Grammary, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because... Oh, phrasing. Because I know the answer is because he opened the bag, but I don't know if I can select both or either of these, so I'm gonna go with this one. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before, but not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself, in a clear, colorless bag. I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what this all means. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. Maya special interest dumping on me about the Steel Samurai show. I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah? Objection! The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. I feel like this line of dialogue is a reach. 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin. I remember it well. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right, right? As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sands through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body. At which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in. Objection! Let me get this straight, Herr Wright. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. No. Wait, I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task? Objection! I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. Objection! That sounds like such, those like dumb lawyer quotes videos. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Everybody should watch the How Many Macaroni Dumb Lawyer Quotes objection.lol. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat? Has a point, amateurs. I at least would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid straight into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth? Valid grammary. I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Oh, objection.lol, my beloved. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was... syringe. The victim's syringe. It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. And easy enough for an amateur to use. Objection! What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. Objection! Exactly. Oh, no sea sprite, that's nice. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Valiant Grammary, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you can manipulate at will. Alec has... Ah! I do believe, well, with this being his first, the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that, while there is a doubt to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. I can do a little much-needed investigation work. See, there are no objections. This court is adjourned. Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. Hee hee. Hoo hoo. In a way you never, ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's he talking about? You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of IV liquid. But there is no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it? Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, Herr Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less. What's this? His evidence is everything. This is the victim, Magnifi Grammary's diary. Diary? After going into the hospital, Magnifi began writing his memoirs, it seems. Story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. Seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we? Tonight's IV is in. Maybe the last. I'll leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. The journal may end here or may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left to mine is to... Oh, put down this pen. This does appear to have been written just before his death. I still lay down this pen. Court accepts this into evidence. Oh, I didn't realize we were going to get it in the court record. Read the very last part with particular care. Memoir sorts, written up to just before he died. Ooh, we can look at it, Freaky. Oh, and it has the Grammary seal on it, that's cool. I don't think there's anything we can look at on it. Oh, there is. Open? Yeah. I'm just prolonging doom right now. This is the last page. The diary ends here. Huh? What's this? Looks like page was ripped out? Oh no, isn't that interesting? Oh, I can't open it again, can I? Is it just, yeah. And there's nothing else. Man, second playthrough of this is interesting. This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his. He refers to our defendant, Zach Grammary. Would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all. But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on.
Magnify Grammary intended to write again. That is, if Zach Grammary didn't pull the trigger. Grammary. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on, it ends. Because Magnify's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Grammary. I don't want to present this evidence. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Gavin, are you certain that Magnify Grammary wrote this? There is no mistaking his handwriting. Handwriting analysis is not genuine forensic evidence. Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnify did intend to continue his diary. Yet, if his diary ended here, which plainly it did, then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Grammary. Well, how do you like me now, Herr Wright? Still too green for your tastes, hmm? It's a canon event. It is. He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with his precious evidence. Actually, can we look at it? Yeah, we can't spin it around. It's the way that Clavier knows and is baiting him so hard. And you notice it when you play it a second time. And he'd overlook such an obvious problem with his precious evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case. If the diary's accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something. Wait, what happens if I press no need here? I want to see. It's fine. We don't need to progress the story. I don't like anything about this situation. But the judge is already getting twitchy with his gavel. I better show them something quick or else. That's really good dialogue. That's really good optional dialogue. The idea that Phoenix himself didn't even entirely feel like this is the right evidence, but he's like, I have to throw something out there. I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence. What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary. If Phoenix had just for one day not gotten sucked into this back and forth with Clavier, and if he'd just been like, I want a recess, I want another day to look at my evidence, he probably would have figured it out. He probably would have realized. Hell, Clavier probably would have realized. It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment. Very well. Please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright. Now I want to see what happens if you get it wrong. Actually, I can just take the penalty. This is the end of it. What happens if you get it wrong? Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary that I've just shown the court. What happens if you do show the diary? I'm gonna try it. Sorry, guys. This is the second playthrough. I'm gonna present a bunch of useless stuff. Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. All right, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is this. Hold on, I'm gonna present the diary and see what happens. Sorry, I have to be silly first. This evidence saying this is decisive. We don't need proof that he might have continued his diary. We need proof that he did continue his diary. If such a thing exists, of course. Time to get cozy with the court record. I got the evidence in here somewhere. Okay, that was not very interesting. Very well, please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright. Incidentally, don't even think I'm just... Yeah. Canon event it is. Hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves. Alright. I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is... Sorry.
First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out.
What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all.
That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Alika, I don't believe it. Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifi Grammary. That's the defense's position.
Wait, let me see that. And Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary.
Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnifi's diary.
Quite remarkable.
Would you care to explain what all this means, Herr Attorney? The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Grammary left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. What? Hold on. Man. Valent Grammary.
No. No! Handwriting, too, matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article. Order, order, order! But wait! That's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Herr Wright?
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Herr Judge?
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin?
Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness.
But, Prosecutor Gavin?
This evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please. My new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes. No more. I promise, Your Honor.
Well, if you put it that way.
Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner.
Then those is highly irregular. We will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom.
I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around.
Holding trial with no audience is a first, even for me, Prosecutor Gavin.
I love the great ace attorney. I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony. A judiciary deal? The details of this testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say? I thought it best to contain the information to this room.
Very well. And you are the witness, I gather?
Gotta make this about great ace attorney, always.
Yes, sir.
State your name and occupation for the record.
My name's Drew Misham. I'm a painter. Painter? And you are somehow related to this case?
No, well,
not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Misham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah, I know it well. How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before? Oh, yeah, I mean, I made it. You... what? You made it? Yes. You might call it one of my works. Prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. The legal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramarye. Legal evidence? I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so we are to understand that this page here is a fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney. Objection! Hold it! I didn't prepare this evidence. Objection! Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume. What is he saying? Makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright. Witness, Mr. Misham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client? That... I don't know. What? Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want and receive my payment. That's the extent of my contact with them. Objection! But there's no proof this is a fake. It's a fake? Huh? To avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine. Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court. It was careless of me. I wish they had made a Rise from the Ashes for this game. I understand why they wouldn't, but I wish there was one. That's all I can say.
Oh boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. He told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. He said it was really important.
It was all a trap. Fatal trap. Mr. Wright? Yes. Do you have an explanation for yourself? I did. Would the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime. And presenting it in court a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney. Fatal too, perhaps, for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one. Objection! Your Honor, wait. I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime. But you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself. See no further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Could I ask your name? Phoenix Wright. Mr. Wright, I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright. Hello? Well, I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way. This trial is over. I saw you for like 2 minutes, but you have protagonist energy, so I'll remember you. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Zack? There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible. Afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you. Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict? When your defendant does not exist. Doesn't exist? What are you talking about? I am talking about this. Mr. Enigmar! The defendant's escaped. Find him! Quick. Bailiff, close all exits from the building. On the double. He must not be allowed to escape. That day in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shady Enigmar, aka Zack Gramarye, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably, vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day. This is the Gramarye miracle. Zack. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. I think the Gramarye's like this. The trial of magician Zack Gramarye vanished, along with him, for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however. But not until 7 years later. To be continued. And that is where we're gonna stop the stream, which is much longer than I thought we were gonna go, but also if I had stopped it earlier, it definitely would have been way too short of a stream. Like 2 streams in a row.
Let's return to the games menu.
Next week, I think we start the Mason system. I think that's right, which sounds exciting. We're almost done with this game. I think there's a couple of Mason system chapters. Hold on, let me double check. Because I need to get into a certain cosplay for the finale. Next week is not the finale, but... Yep, Mason system and then the finale. We've only got 2 more streams. I'm going to be in a cosplay for the finale. I'm sure people can guess what that cosplay will be if they know the people like cosplay and or the setup of the trial. There is a certain character who's very integral to the last case, and I will be cosplaying them. I think I've actually said it on stream, but if I pretend like it's a surprise, then it's more fun that way. Anyway, as usual, if you haven't joined already, I have a Discord server. We're very close to the funny number. Very, very close to the funny number. What else is going on? If you would like to purchase this game, or Ghost Trick, or the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, if you're really convinced by this stream of not Great Ace Attorney Chronicles to play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, you can do that by purchasing it off of my Nexus site. I got a cut of the price of the game, so you get to support me, and also you get to play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I may be streaming the Great Ace Attorney twice this week. I may be streaming the Great Ace Attorney not at all this week on other people's channels. You, Points at Viewer, can be the 69th member. Maybe. One of you might be able to. I think we're actually at 66 now because somebody had some trouble with getting into the server, but anyway. We're very close to the funny number. It would be neat if you joined my Discord server and were the funny number. What else is going on this week? Is anything going on this week? I don't think so. I'm going to be back to streaming this game on Monday, probably, unless something comes up on Monday, in which case it'll be another day of the week. I don't know. We can find out together, but assume Monday. I usually stream on Mondays. I think that's all for the week. Yeah. As usual. Hydrate or dihydrate. I don't have an outro. Have a good night. Thank you all for watching.